My name is August Pullman. Next week, I start 5th grade. And since I've never been to real school before, I'm pretty much totally petrified.
I'll see you later.
Auggie, you don't want to walk up with your parents because it's not cool.
But you're cool.
I know I am, but technically most dads aren't. Neither are these helmets.
Dear God, please make them be nice to him.
I know I'm not an ordinary 10-year-old kid. I've had 27 surgeries. They've helped me to breathe, to see, to hear without a hearing aid, but none of them have made me look ordinary.
Hey everybody, welcome to What the Flick. Oh my God, we're all here, and we all saw a thing. Ben, Christy, Matt, Alonzo. Wonder is opening this week opposite a really big superhero movie, but perhaps you'll want to see this one too.
Yes, this is far more inspiring.
Maybe you'll confuse it for Wonder Woman.
Or Wonderstruck.
Or
Wonder Wheel.
Professor Marston and the Wonder Women. There's like 5 of these things.
What's irritating in this movie, the Wonder Wheel shows up.
It does.
You know what? There's like 5 movies this year that have the Wonder Wheel in them.
I wonder why.
There's a lot of them. Well, okay, so hi, Jacob Tremblay stars as a 10-year-old kid named Auggie who lives in Brooklyn with his mom and dad, played by Julia Roberts and Owen Wilson, and his older sister. And he's been homeschooled his whole life, and he wears an astronaut helmet wherever he goes because he was born with a genetic abnormality that has required him to have multiple facial surgeries and treatments throughout his young life. And now that he's about to enter middle school, his mom wants him to go to an actual school and know what it's like to be with other kids and be in the outside world, and it's about the year in his life as he learns to be of the world and the world learns about him. And it is really surprisingly great. Take a look.
Who is it that I aspire to be? That is the question that we should be asking ourselves all the time.
Hey Jack, come sit here. In a sec. I'd like to be able to control the weather. That would be your superpower? That sounds pretty lame. What would you do? I'd be invisible.
You're the toughest kid in that school. Show them.
You can't blend in when you were born to stand out.
Talk about a movie that the trailer makes you not want to see.
Yeah, just the premise makes you not want to see. It just sounds mawkish, and it could have been painful, and it's not. Like Steven Chbosky wrote and directed it, yeah?
Yes.
Based on a YA novel.
Co-wrote it,
based on a YA novel. And like finds this lovely understated tone every time for the most part. At the end gets a little nutty and sentimental, but for the most part, there's like an understatement here that really, really works, and it allows the inherent nature of the drama to shine through.
I didn't think it was understated.
The end is not.
You thought it was stated?
I thought it was clearly stated, and I felt, look, I cried. Probably, I'm sure more than any of you.
Because you have a soul, and the rest of us don't.
No, I mean, but I'm
because he has to win everything.
Right. I mean, it's not a big deal. I wrote it down. I cried 23 times. But I felt like it was a bunch of, many times I felt like these were unconnected scenes. I didn't quite, it felt abrupt to me and without flow.
See, I really like the structure here because the movie they're selling is this kid and the other kids are mean, but some of them aren't. And it's one of those movies where it allows audiences to feel like they would of course be nice, even though it's also inviting audiences, here, take a long stare at this kid with a different face, even though if you did that in public, you would be shamed for it. But now you can do it in this safe environment, and you can shame the characters in the movie who are doing it, So that there's a minefield here that it completely avoids. What I love about this movie is that it's as much about all the people surrounding this kid as it is about Auggie. So, it's about the sister, and then it's about why the sister's best friend, kind of blows her off in their new school year, and why is this kid being nice to Auggie, and why is this other kid a bully? Like nobody exists in a vacuum. It's not like there are just these heroes and villains. Everybody has their own backstory, and everybody has their reasons as to why they behave the way they do. And I kind of liked that sort of, it was this kind of compassionate quilt of people.
I don't mind the structure. I agree with you. I like the structure. I like learning about the sister. Who played the sister?
Isabella Vidovic.
She's
fantastic. Great.
She's on The Fosters.
She's lovely presence about her.
Yeah, totally.
She's really
She's
good.
great. And Everybody was fine, but it was really sort of like how scenes ended. Like I thought they didn't seem over. I had a constant sense of incompleteness. This is overall a movie I liked and was moved by, but I didn't, so I suppose I had that sort of cheap feel that you have in emotional movies like this when you watch, and a reference I use all the time, when you watch a ABC After School Special in 1978, that this was a very good one. But still felt like a
this is more craft and more depth.
I'm
a little bit closer where you are.
I didn't feel I didn't see the craft.
So this movie, there's a lot of points of this movie. It's so earnest. It's so earnest, and this is like the Pottery Barn version of New York. Right? Like this is
the biggest brownstone. They live in the hugest New York apartment.
What does Owen Wilson do?
A good question.
We don't know.
He gets to spend quality time with his family, and he gets to own this huge piece of real estate in Brooklyn.
Maybe he was in the family for a long time.
Maybe
it's Park Slope. It's
really
not cheap.
successful actors. Brothers also right? Yeah.
This movie.
Maybe he co-wrote some Wes Anderson movie.
So this one, every scene is so earnest.
Yeah, that's what it is. You said it better.
And each scene, I'm thinking like, this is going to be tedious, and they managed to just snatch victory from the jaws of defeat at every scene. And I got to the point where it's like, okay, this is working, and I'm ready for it to just stop working. And it skirts the edge of being just so mawkish and unwatchable. And it doesn't help that it is. This is the New York of When Harry Met Sally, right? Like this is a Fantasyland version of New York that does not exist. And that's a little off-putting because it's hard to then accept the reality of what's going on in the rest of these characters. That being said, I got choked up too. Like it does work and it shouldn't, and it still kind of does. And I think I'm a little irked by that, but
you're irked that it worked. Is that
I guess so, yeah.
He's right, man. There's an earnestness to it that made me, while being simultaneously moved 23 times, roll my eyes 13 times.
But I at least felt I had earned the movie earned moving me.
Yes.
Hey, listen, earned is my word.
Fair enough. But I didn't. Thank you. It didn't feel like I was being manipulated. It wasn't like they were, cutting onions in the theater to make you cry. Like they came about them in a legitimate way. Every so often they do go a little far.
Yeah, I was saying, having said that, the ending, there's so many movies that are about young people have a magical ending at like a school auditorium.
Well, okay,
this has that.
There are two in this movie, two standing ovations.
Yeah, I'm not sure we needed any of that.
Matt Singer wrote a great piece about, he's talking about biopics, but like we've really got to stop it with the standing ovations in movies, because that's just becoming like a super cliche. I want to give a quick shout out to Noah Jupe, who plays Augie's friend. He was the one good thing in Suburbicon. He's the kid in that movie. And in this movie, I think he is just like this really great kid actor, just like very like
he played
wide-eyed and open-faced and empathetic, and I think he's
terrific. What's his name? Pete Will?
Jack Will.
Jack Will.
And there's a bully, and the bully makes sense that he's a bully eventually.
Once you find out more about his backstory.
There's two scenes I hated. His parents' scene, with his parents scene with Mandy Patinkin in the office. I hated that. And I hated the field trip. I hated that fight.
Really?
I hated it. I thought it was that felt incredibly, again, earnest. Those felt like an after-school special fight and an after-school special.
I really
meeting
like
with parents.
No, see, I think that meeting with parents, you don't get that in a lot of movies. You have bully is bad and he's mean, and that's it. Bad and mean.
So you're saying this worked because it let us know, boy, he's got some horrible parents.
It gave context.
Listen, don't think you're not going to be that parent when the time comes.
It's just I didn't think that mom exists. That was too.
Oh, I believe that.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, God, totally.
Wealthy Brooklyn. I believe that. Go ahead.
Patinkin was great. I really liked Patinkin.
Yeah.
I kind of actually would love to see a whole movie about that character.
The principal of the prep school.
Right, the adventures of Principal Tushman.
Yeah.
It's called Captain Underpants.
Yeah,
he shows angst very well, like his sort of crawling into himself as his parents are talking.
Yeah, so his character, and also David. Hold on, I'm blanking on his name.
It's pronounced David.
No, it's David, because he's got two. David Diggs, who is his teacher. Like he's the teacher that gives us all the really out of the box assignments, and these are all characters that seem like cliches.
That's another one. That teacher does not exist in real life.
They're hard to find, but they're out there.
Yes, but I feel like all these characters, right? Like they could have been cliches, and there's enough context that they feel better fleshed out. And the fact that you do have the structure where it looks at Auggie through various perspectives, it does it sounds corny, but it does create the sensation of living and walking in someone else's shoes, and like how the power of empathy can really change people. It sounds super corny as the words leave my mouth, but the movie does do that really well.
Yeah,
unless you're Ben.
No, I did not. Just from all the I try not to watch trailers, but this was one that like you just couldn't escape, and just all the marketing just made this look like a kind of movie I've seen before and didn't like, and this turned out to be something that I had not seen before and did like.
It's pre-adolescent Mask.
I'm gonna do one little spoiler here.
Please.
Just letting people know, but it's not a major spoiler. But
No.
if you're a dog in a movie and Owen Wilson's in it, get out.
That was the other thing that bugged me. That felt a little like, must we?
Can I tell a quick story? So I took Nick with me to see this, and when we first see his face, Nick turns to me and he whispers, he goes, "He looks weird." And then by the end of it, I asked him, "What'd you think?" And he goes, "I loved it."
Oh,
the movie works. There you go.
Yeah, all right, that's good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So 8-year-olds, take your 8-year-olds. So my number is a 7.8. I was pleasantly surprised by this.
Yeah, I give it a 7.
7.
Look, I'm actually not that far off. I think I gave it a 6.2. I'll make it a 6.6. So just you pull up the total 0.1. Like it's fine.
7.1. Okay.
Yeah.
Also, Jacob Tremblay is really great as always, and not like precocious actor. He's working underneath prosthetic makeup and stuff, and he's still really great. So 7.1 is our number. It is at 81%.
And here's the.
He's not overdoing it with the heartstrings.
No, he's great.
Yeah.
Wise beyond his
Julia
years.
Roberts is
right. Julia Roberts is lovely.
She's a treasure.
Finds all the right
Yeah,
notes.
yeah.
All right. So 81%. It's good. Take your kids. Bye.